Hey everybody, it's Matt the Dice Chucker here from Literary Gamers, and today I'm coming up to you with my solo roundup. This is week 4 of the solo playthroughs I've been doing, and thank you for joining me on those. If you haven't gotten a chance to check some of them out, I've got a playlist full of the all the solo modes that I've been doing. So this week we did 5 of these games, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts and rankings of them. Now, before we continue, I do like all these games. I am ranking them based off of their solo mode versus their multiplayer. So if you're gonna be, how could he say that about that game? It's a critical darling. Yes, it is, but I'm ranking it versus how I like it versus the multiplayer. And the reason I say that is because we're going to start with my least favorite solo mode out of the five, which is Everdell. Everdell. Now, people love this game. They love the artwork, they love the tree, they love the tableau building, they love the way that it all works together in the end. As far as the solo mode goes, I was a little confused with the rulebook on exactly what I was supposed to do. It said that you play the 3 years, but after year 1, it has a section for scoring, and I'm still confused on whether or not do I play 3 separate games of Everdell. All right, sorry about that, everyone. We had just a slight problem with the microphone. So yeah, I played through year 1 and I did all the things and steps that it told me to do with the AI. And then it said scoring, and then it said year 2. So I'm also very confused as do I completely set up the game again and start over with year 2, or do I continue? So I don't know. It got a 7.5 because I liked the ideas behind the solo mode. I liked the way that it blocked paths, and I had to really kind of plan out what I wanted to do. And it really felt like I was playing against another person, which is good. It wasn't just a score sheet. By the way, all 5 of the games this week were I won or lost. And I could see, how it was going to do versus when you play and you just get a score sheet. So Everdell has that edge. I didn't like it as much as the regular multiplayer, but I still do enjoy the game. So don't take it the wrong way. I like this game. Okay, everybody, I like it. So that's my thoughts on Everdell. I think if I were to delve more into forums about the solo mode, because remember, you're learning a lot of these games with me on the solo. Sorry about that. I'm still recovering from my bout of seasonal allergies, and it's, I've been pushing through to get these games done because I wanted to make sure there was content out there, but I think I killed my voice in the process of doing so. But anyway, that's Everdell. A solid game. I just think I need to research more into what I'm supposed to be doing with this solo mode. So if you want to see me play Everdell again solo, maybe let me know in the comments below. I know the other problem this week had is these were all larger games, so I had some issues with getting it all on the camera. And I say that because my next was Isle of Cats. This was the one chosen to be played live. By the way, this week had the most even spread poll out of all the polls. Excuse me. I didn't dislike the Isle of Cats solo. Like 7.75, so that's still fairly high, and I think it's mainly my love of the game at the same time. I appreciate, when you're playing against the sister, how the sister operates, but the scoring at the end was just so punishing. And I guess that's just me learning and not quite knowing what I should be doing. It was rough because the sister has 5 cards of colors of cats that they're looking to get, and right away was orange, and like 6 out of the 8 cats on the island for that round were orange, and I was like, I can't be taking those cats, and there's tons of points. So the scoring was just rough. I will try it again solo. I had a good time. There was something about it though that I was like, I really just, I think I enjoy this much more with other people, and I think it's just the nature of the game, the idea that it's a pleasant game. And Jen loves it so much, so I think we're just gonna save this one for multiplayer, and that comes around. All right, I don't have much to say about Isle of Cats. Everyone loves it. I love it because I think the art is fantastic. I know we've got kittens coming, and then there's the roll and write version of it. So anyway, these next three games were all 8.25s, and out of the three of them, as far as the solo mode goes, I think Lost Ruins of Arnak was number 3. I like Lost Ruins of Arnak a lot. I think it's a really neat game. Combines the deck builder aspect with the track climbing, and there's the exploration theme, which is always a winner for me. I wish there were more themes, more games that had this theme on it. When we first got into gaming, I ended up getting the Adventurers, the Temple of Chalk. That's the one with the boulder that's chasing you around, and that was fun. It was what it was for the time. When you look back on it now, you're like, it was. You're looking at it, and it didn't age well for Jen and myself. That's why we ended up getting rid of it. We did get to play the other Adventurers once, where the ceiling is just collapsing on you. And that's more like the Mummy, and Temple of Chalk was like Indiana Jones. But Lost Ruins of Arnak captures that feel for me. I did fall into the problem where I just made so many bad decisions that I've got to sit there and really think about what I want to do. And since I'm filming these, I don't want to just I'd love to think about it, but because I'm filming it and I'm trying to keep the watch time, but the video time low, I don't want to take up too much time with making those decisions. So I made a lot of bad decisions in Arnak. However, I didn't lose by much, and I thought the AI was smooth. I thought it was practical, and it was a very enjoyable game. Another game, and this one didn't get a lot of love in the end, I think. People like Red Rising. This is an 8.25 Stonemaier Games. I actually really enjoyed the game when it came out, and it stayed in the collection. I have not read the book, by the way. Jen read the book. And it's a really neat game. I had not played Fantasy Realms when it came out, and everyone's saying, well, it's just basically Fantasy Realms with a different theme on it. So I'd love to try Fantasy Realms, but like I said, I've never played it. But in this game, you've got your hand of cards, and you're discarding and redrawing from different piles and going up tracks, or getting certain, putting down cubes in an institute. You're trying to have the most cubes there, trying to have a lot of helium, which are the little red tokens. You're trying to fulfill objectives on the bottom of your cards by keeping all of them in hand, and it's just really neat. The AI, the way that works, it was just very smooth. You had a deck of cards, you flipped one, it told you to put a new card down on this location, and then for them to just take the card of another location, and then you would do bonuses based on what the deck said. And I shouldn't have been surprised at how smooth it was. The Automa Factory is the one who created the solo mode for this. It was, can I get his name right? Is it on the back at least? No, it's not. So I just want to give him credit here. So the design is by Stegmaier and Alexander Schmidt, but we have Morten Modrad Peterson as with Lev Tugels, Israel Waldrum, and Ben L. Montgomery, who created the Automa for Red Rising. I thought it was really neat, and like I said, it's smooth. And that's really one thing I know I can say about the game, both in multiplayer and in the solo mode, is it's a smooth game. I love that the scores are so exorbitant in this game. I lost on this one, but I don't think I lost. No, this one I did lose by a bunch, because it has a scoring mechanism at the end where the Automa's got tons of cards. They don't have a hand limit, and neither do you, but gaining cards in your hand is sometimes very difficult. But with the Automa, they just collect cards. And they're at the beginning of the game, you take a look and see if there's more odds or even numbers on the board, and then that's the preference the Automa has at the end. And then they can only score 20 cards, but you're always going to score the preference cards. That being said, I thought it was really neat. Um, I've got to play more Stegmaier games solo to see what else they've come up with. So, anyway, that's Red Rising. My last game here that we took a look at, which is my favorite one, was Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria. I had strayed away for years from the of Valeria games, and I don't know why. Um, I think I had seen them at a few places here and there, but I was told that Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria was a dice drafting game with custom dice, and if you know me, first off, I'm the Dice Trucker on Instagram, and I love games where you can just chuck dice. For a while, Star Wars Destiny was one of my favorite games until they stopped producing and supporting it. So I was told, oh, they're custom dice. I can chuck dice every round and draft dice. Awesome. I'm in. What's the theme? Well, you're all the monsters of this kingdom. You're tired of being, fought by all these great heroes. So now you're going to turn around and fight them. I love that idea. So Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria was very simple. You have an adversary and they move clockwise around the board. When they get to the 5th spot, they take an objective and they just score points based off of that. And either you or the adversary is going to get to the 7th first. And it still doesn't matter because it's going to be whoever has the most points. And so when I'm playing this multiplayer, I'm taking my time. With Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria and solo, I had to hit the ground running, and I had to hit the ground aggressively. I needed to get my stuff done before the adversary was able to get their stuff done. And you had to keep in mind, too, that if the adversary ever entered the area where you were, and you can't go and where the adversary is, but if he moves into where you are, the adversary just gets 2 points. And so I had to kind of plan around that. There was only one time where I gave the adversary 2 points. But it was solid. It was a really solid game. If you haven't tried Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria, I highly suggest you take a look at it. We just picked up Valeria Card Kingdoms, and I really do enjoy that as well. That's got a solo mode that I will eventually play. It's even got a co-op mode. It's got a few other stuff, but there's tons of content for it. But yeah, if you've been on the fence about trying the of Valeria games, definitely give it a shot, especially Shadow Kingdoms. I think it's a really neat game here. We had some really solid ones this time. None of them were like, hey, I'd rather never play this solo again. None of that is here. And while Everdell was my least favorite out of the 5, I'd still play it solo again, especially once I clarify what the heck's going on. So thank you for joining me. This is the first month I'm doing it. I'm going to try to make it a bit more even, and I've got some other content that I need to put out for some people. So we're going to take a week off of the polled solo games. I'm going to be doing some other stuff for a few companies. I know I've got to run the solo of what's the one? I'm looking right at it. Roll Camera from Grand Gamers Guild. I've got to run the solo of Library Labyrinth, which is going to hit Kickstarter soon. So yeah, there's some stuff coming out. Oh, I'm going to run the solo of Libertalia this week, hopefully. All depends on time, So we'll see you throughout the week, but there's not going to be a poll. I'm just going to start uploading vids. Yes, I'm trying to be cool by saying vids. Yeah, upload those vids. Jen and I are going to be doing some Ashes and Summoner War stuff this week. Thank you to Plaid Hat. They sent us the 2 new Ashes packs and the new Summoner Wars second. They call it the 2nd edition starter set, but it's this little one right here. I'm very happy because I get more dice. But yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll run those as well. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I'd love to get to 600 by the end of March, and hopefully to 1,000 by the end of the year. So go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. Our ratio is getting better. I think we're around 50% of you who watch have subscribed. And let us know what other type of content you want to see. I've been doing book reviews. I'm trying to get at least, just one out every week on Monday. Jen's coming back. She's filming some stuff today. I got the solo games going, but if you'd like to see us do more head-to-head games, like Summoner Wars and Ashes, please let us know. We've got plenty of games like that we could showcase for you guys. All right, my voice is getting a little shot again, so I'm going to call it a day, and we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.